Hello and welcome to the Talking Wednesday. I wish we were talking on a little better kind of thing, but you know, that man at the top is still in charge and he ain't gone yet, so there's nothing really to write home about with that one. But this is episode 231. We got 200 numbers, wow. It's me and Jack today. James is away. So we're going to get through this and hopefully have a good show, even though it's not the best to talk about when you look at what's happened in the news and everything else in between. But how's your week been, Jack?
Yeah, not too bad. Nothing really notable. Just started my D&D group. Have kicked off the campaign and everything, so that's fun. And nothing to write home about apart from that, really. You just I could see your mind just thinking of all of these jokes that you wish you could say, but you can't because it's not a Discord call in private.
I'm just going to say, I'm happy that you finally found your little nerd group.
Yes.
That you can enjoy. and that's no offense to anyone that likes D&D. D&D is a good game.
It's fun.
For Jack, this is a very much a nerd group that he's been looking for.
Oh, yes, 100%. I've been wanting to try this D&D thing for so long, and I've finally found a group for it.
He sits there and goes,
nice.
I'm one of them. But, yeah, that's good, mate. Like you started
can I get a charisma speech check for that, please, Jake? Can you roll me a dice? No. Anyway, how's your week been?
Long and very, very tiring. I just got ill householder again, which normally it's not the one who's normally ill, which is weird. So my missus is ill at the minute. So counting down the days until the 6 weeks holidays are done and dusted, because I've hit my point of just they need to go back to school now. They need to go back to school and nursery.
Yes.
I need to have sleep. I need to just be able to have a tidy house, even if it's just for 2 days of the week while they're not here. I'm constantly just tidying up after everyone, and it's just doing me nothing. And I'm getting to that point where if someone doesn't tidy something up, I'm just gonna black bin bag it all, because I'm just that.
Here you go, charity shop.
Yeah, pretty much. I am a little bit of a neat freak, so it is one of those things where I do a bit of mess. It's difficult, but again, neat freak and kid don't make much sense because you don't get that because they don't know that meaning of the word neat and tidy. So it takes a while for you to get into the swing of things and trying to get my head around it, because eventually once they are back at school, I'll get back into the swing of things and everything will be good. But apart from that, everything's good, mate. I'm just knackered. I'm ready for having more sleep, hopefully. Not being woken up at 1 and 4 in the morning because of toddler having sleep regressions. But yeah, not fun. But we've had 2 games this week. 1 Carabao Cup, 1 league. Let's start with the Carabao Cup. What do you think of it?
You know what? I'm dead proud of those lads. Because it was a side with 6 debutants in it, which was insane. But it's the situation we've been left with, frankly, because of, again, the man at the top. But they all really did themselves proud, I thought. And 3-3, and then through to the next round against Leeds on penalty after the penalty shootout. And proper proud of them.
Well, let's go through those goals first, because Gwiller's goals are absolutely outstanding.
It was incredible, wasn't it?
Such a hit. Did really well to try and get it back himself. And I think the thing I liked about a lot of the goals were they were quite quick after what Bolton has then tried to get into the game a little bit. They got back into it on the 36th, but EK Ugbo with a goal. Got a goal last season in the Cup as well, so hopefully this time it does get him a lot further on and kick him on a little bit. And we all had that whole thing with him. It was a lack of pre-season. And this season, the entire squad with a lack of pre-season.
Exactly.
So
they're all technically on an even keel this time, right?
Yeah, they're all on the same kind of boat.
Yeah.
Second half, Reece Johnson, we think we sealed it at that point. But no, we don't, actually. Sorry. They go, and their 2 goals in the second half were fantastic. Mm-hmm. They were really good.
Yeah.
They get it to 2-2, and you're like, right, we're going to have to dig in here and try and go again. And again, it was a goal straight from going behind to get it. And it was really well. It was just a death-tuck finish.
Oh,
he
definitely.
kind of saw the mistake, managed to get around the keeper and just tuck it in. It was a lovely goal. But then 92nd minute, they get it. And you're like, right, going to pens.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you.
to pens, lads and ladies.
When it went to pens, I won't lie. There was a part of me that was like, I'd be really gutted if they went out to pens because they put a hell of a shift in. So many young lads in that. Fought with Bruno Fernandes as well. He had a really bad tackle.
Yeah, that was a disgusting tackle, wasn't it?
Should have been a red. If they hadn't have already got the red during the game when they tripped McNeil, I think he may have gone for that one.
Yep.
But he can be out for some weeks, which is slightly annoying for the lad. He played really well. He had a really good game. Penalties popped up. Really good pens. Charles with some very good save once again. Just a special mention for McNeil Paninka. Just cheeky.
That was cold, wasn't it?
But really good. Got through to the next round, and in the next round we will play Leeds United. And at the time of recording this, it's pretty much boycott the Leeds United game, and I get it. I understand it. They're trying to send a message and hit him where it hurts, and yeah, it's one of those things. It's gonna be that kind of way for a while until he's gone. And it's not fun, it's not great to see, but people are hitting him where it hurts. And that's hopefully where we might start seeing a bit of a change and see something to see change in general. Special shout out to Reece Johnson, actually, because he was my man of the match. He was fantastic that game. Really played really well. And you were thinking, how can we try and improve this, or can some of these lads make a punt in the first team? Because what we had was the same thing we had at Leicester, and the same thing we had today is pretty much you get to a certain minute and it all starts to fade, but that's due to lack of pre-season. No pre-season. We can have all the stats in the world where they look brilliant and great, but without the pre-season, it's going to knack us. And you go to today's game, they go within a minute, literally within a minute. While
the players just didn't look switched on, did they, at the kickoff? No. I don't think.
No, I don't know if
focus wasn't there.
I don't know if it was a mixture of the whistle going off and that kind of took the focus and the protest beforehand. I don't know. But we are a club that does tend to not get switched on straight away. It takes us a while to get into games. And we had that last season, like teams would go at us, go from kickoff or from the start, and we'd be really struggling. And you're thinking, we need to try and get back into the game. I thought Ingelsson in this one had a fantastic game. Looked really well. What about, how do you think it went in that first half for you?
It was good, but we just didn't have that, that. I feel like the first half was lacking a bit of a dynamic playmaker-y sort of role. Because, Bannon was playing very, very well in that central midfield spot, but he just needed that bit of assurance alongside him, I feel. And people weren't... There was not a lot of fluid movement off the ball to get into channels and that sort of thing. And it was just lacking that little bit of a final... bit of pizzazz, I guess, in terms of attacking prowess. Ironically, we missed Windass. That was the thing that we were missing in the final third. I feel that sort of someone that can make something out of nothing, and we didn't have that in the first half. And I felt like that proved quite costly for us because
I will say the game showed
plenty of
how
shots
much
overall. But
we missed a proper CDM.
Yeah,
Sean
100%.
had bits of the game where he was good, but there were a lot of times he was getting bullied off the ball or he just missed lay a pass. And I'm not digging out the lad because any youngsters that go into this game, they're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. It is part and parcel of going into a squad where you don't have a plan B.
Yeah.
There isn't a plan B. We don't have the bench for this team. I think what we're lacking. Bav went down in first half as well. You were kind of like, that's a bit of a worry holding his knee, but it just looked like it was a dead leg. I tell you who else had a really good game. Cads held it up really well, used his strength very well in the first half. He had a really good bit of play where he moved the ball from one pass, then ran into the box and headed it over. And you go into second half, you're thinking, right, come on, can we try and capitalise on it? And again, Not switched on.
No.
Not switched on at all. And it's too easy. And it's easy counter-attacking football as well. I think a lot of teams are going to know how to play us this year, and it's easy. You play us on the counter because we push up.
Yeah.
And we don't
play
have
a high line, and then the defense can't then cope when suddenly, they've got 3-4 people that are bearing down on goal really quickly, and it's...
Yeah. And you
yes, it works when you've got the players for it, and it's a good idea, but when you don't have that, you can't maybe push up as high defensively, and yet we keep doing it so far, and it's just...
You could see what Charles were trying to do. Charles were trying to make the angle harder, but with him going off his line, he probably came out a little bit too early again.
Yeah. Inexperience, though, isn't it? That's like another thing, like with Sean in the first half.
But he pulled off some good save when he was called upon. But man of the match for them, Jesus Christ, Victor Johansson, what a keeper.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my
$1
word.
million from Rotherham. That's all they paid. And he just pulled off save after save after save. There was a double save from Max Lowe and Liam Palmer.
Palmer,
which was a really good double save. And you're just thinking, can we do anything to get past him? And the one that he had where Bannon had the overhead kick.
Yeah.
Just any other keeper, I think that goes in.
Yep.
He's like a cheat code for this league, and he's only 26 still. Which
he's not even at his proper prime yet, has he?
No. He is absolutely incredible keeper and did really well for him. But again, they managed to get us on the break again. Ball goes in. Header's simple, really, isn't it? Like, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
And it's 3-0 and it's wrapped up. We have some chances, but nothing.
They just
really...
parked the bus, though, didn't they? They basically got 3-0 up. They had like 6 people.
No, I don't even think they parked the bus, Jack. I think we used all our energy. We used what we had. We don't have the bent to change it. Like, you can bring Ugbo on, you can bring on McNeil, and yeah, great players to come on if you're needing to control a game. But are they players that are going to be able to step up and change the game and take the game by the cuff of its neck? Like, this game, we're calling for a Michael Smith to come and just hold up, or someone like a Masaba to use his pace. We don't have that anymore.
Nope.
So we took... I don't even think they parked the bus. I think they just did very well at taking our attack and nullifying it. And whenever they did get a chance to go on the break, they went on the break and countered well. And it's very much what I think we're going to get used to this season in the counter. Because you go with start 15 shots, 5 on target, 12 shots, 6 on target for them. We have more of the ball. We have more fouls. They had more cards. They had more corners than us. But you also look at this going into the game, the protest going through Hillsborough Park, carrying the coffin. The player probably won't have seen some of that. But it sent a message, and a lot more eyes are on us for it. I think there's a lot more eyes on Wednesday, the whole, with whatever's going on now, which is good. I think that's where things like the protest, they work, because you're trying to get media eyes onto the club. And again, you have a bench and a pre-season, which we've not had. And we thought we were going to get players in this week, and we'll talk about that later. You're going to be playing catch-up. You're just going to be playing catch-up. And it's not the player's fault. They're putting a lot of effort. It's not the manager's fault. It's down to one man and one man only, and that's Chansiri.
Yep. He's
royally screwed the pooch on what we can and can't do. And it's just really annoying. Like, if you got like point for effort, you probably get 3 points today. But you don't get point for effort. You get point for getting the ball in the back of the net. And we ain't done that today. We had spells where we look good, but it's not rocket science how to beat us at the minute. Like, very young squad, really going to struggle. I don't know. What do you think? It just highlighted today that, like, the man at the very top is the exact reason that we are in the turbulent situation that we are in terms of, like, the players that we have available, and the fact that the players that would have made the difference today have walked away for free because of the fact that the man at the top wasn't fulfilling his obligations as the owner by paying them on time
and making sure that the rest of the staff at the club gets paid on time, which then doesn't put us in a situation that we're not allowed to sign the sodding players that we need to be able to compete with the likes of Stoke, the likes of other teams in this league that are probably gonna come to Hillsborough and do the same thing that Stoke did to us today, all because we have been unable to actually get the quality in that we needed to nullify their attack today, or to create chances of our own. And it's all because one man doesn't know how to do his job and has refused any help in doing his job over the time as the owner of Sheffield Wednesday. And that's who every single piece of the blame and anger and frustrations should be aimed at. Because he's also trying to hide, isn't he? He's trying to hide away from all of the criticism now and just let it all go over the top of his head. But with eyes on the club, as there are now because of the protests and everything, he can't do that. It's continually putting him in the firing line, and that's where he needs to stay and where he deserves to stay for the utter mess that he has caused and created. And
yeah. Yep.
Honestly,
100%.
all the effort of the players, especially the young ones, hats off. Doesn't matter what the results are. Hats off to you for still stepping up and
it matters
trying
what the results
your best
are.
for the club.
It does matter what the results are to a point, but at the same time, 'cause we're still in a business of trying to win games. I get what you're trying to say. I think my big thing is we are going to have a point deduction at some point because we have broken the rules. And it's more than likely going to be either -12, maybe reduced down to 8 or 6. And this is where you want to try and put something forward so we can get as many points as possible. The moment you get it where that point deduction comes in, that's where the morale will get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially we go down with record number of points. Like, potentially, even if you manage to G the players up or something happens. The only way I think something helps here is if a takeover comes over and you've got it, and then you get given the reassurance that you can get this, and this player in, or try and put people in. But right now, while he's still in charge, there's nothing we can do about it as fans, apart from what we are doing, make our voices heard, make it very clear that we don't want him here anymore. The fact that he probably still thinks that we want him here, it would be mad if he did, because I'll be asking what rock he's living under.
Yeah.
But again, it's the protest help. It helps kind of put a light on it. Maybe it helps get us, maybe somebody to come to the table to him. Who knows? I don't know. But again, it was just the way we lost wasn't the issue. It was more, I thought the effort was there and there were good bits that fell, but no preseason. You don't have games. Like you can't prepare for a season for 46 if you don't get at least 4, maybe 5 top quality preseason games in to get the legs in and get the fitness. We saw versus Leicester, we ran out of steam around the 60th.
Yeah.
Leeds today, we didn't run out of steam of much because I think Stoke got the third and was just like, we're not going to go for any more unless there's a break. So they did. When they did, that's how they countered.
Yep.
So yeah, it's that whole situation. Let's have a look at what the championship goals were today then. Wrexham 2, West Brom 3. West Brom coming from behind to win that. Derby 3, Coventry 5. Portsmouth 1, Norwich 2. Preston 2, Leicester City 1. Swansea 1, Sheffield United 0. Watford 2, and they were down to 10 men. QPR 1. Now, Blackburn Rovers were winning this at one point. Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham 2. We lost 3-0 to Stoke. Middlesbrough 3, Millwall 0. Millwall 0, Middlesbrough 3. And it was a 0-0 versus Bristol and Charlton. The only game today that didn't have any goals in it at all.
No.
Letting the side down there, lads.
I know. Yeah.
Tomorrow it's Ipswich versus Southampton, so it's a rehash of last year from the Prem, and it's Hull City versus Oxford at 3 as well. So we won't have those results in yet because they've not been played yet. Because the time of recording this, they've not even done. You look at that and you're thinking, nah, we're not great, but we did get the heaviest. No, we didn't. Derby did, but we're up there, and you see it and you think, how's it going to look in the table? And kind of pointless looking at the table this early on because it is the table.
Yeah. But at least the other lot are down in the mud with us.
We're
right
on
now.
Identical points.
Yes.
Sheffield United bottom with 2 game play, both on -4, both on 5 goals against and 1 goal good. Derby County down there well, Blackburn, Wrexham, Oxford. If you go up to the top, it's Stoke, it's Middlesbrough, it's West Brom, it's Bristol. But again, we're 2 games in. There's no point looking at the table right now. At the end of the day, as someone said, oh, what colours Sheffield? Well, they're both as bad as each other at the minute, so not great. So, yeah. So right now we're just in that kind of position where we see what happens. The only saving grace in one sense is there's no game midweek. So it can be a full week of training. That being said, it's Wrexham next.
Oh, good. I can't wait for the humiliation ritual on the documentary next year. That's going to be great.
It's also, if you want a fun fact of it's Welsh the next 2 games because it's Swansea the following game. So luckily we're at home for that one, but we are away to Wrexham on the 23rd. So yeah, that'll be fun. But I'd like to say we'll go into the news and talk about some happy stuff, but
I feel like it's going to be a Bruce Forsyth game show conveyor belt of here's who you could have won.
Yeah. We'll start with a little bit of looking at players and stuff and who else we could be. So Sheffield Wednesday entered the race for the exciting Man City midfielder Jaden Hecky. Sheffield Wednesday are believed to be one of the clubs considering a move for Man City's youngster Jaden Hecky. The 19-year-old attacking mid is the son of ex-Premier League midfield striker Emil Hecky. Now you all feel old.
Yes.
Is making quite a few names for himself in the youth ranks at City and has even spent time with the senior side under Pep Guardiola. It thought that a loan move is to be considered by Manchester Giants as Hecky continued his development, and the start understands that Wednesday are one of the clubs who are keeping tabs on the situation as they weigh up their options. The Owls are yet to make a single signing this summer. Technically, we have, because Bannon was a new signing, but it doesn't count in the whole kind of thing because he's been here for 10 years. Back along Belden and Bargo, and even now restricted in terms of what they can and cannot do due to the business plan put in place by the English Football League's Club Financial Reporting Unit. What do you think about this one?
Well, I'm sincerely hoping that KSI makes a sequel YouTube video about Heskey's son all these years later. If any of you are the same age as me and remember that video that was hilarious back in the day of YouTube being ultra extra, then you'll be laughing at that like I am. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. We need a midfielder. Clearly, we need a central midfielder. Judging on the performance today, but when we can sign anybody, who knows? Because it certainly won't be with Chansiri as the owner, will it? Because he's not going to stump up enough cash to prove that he can actually pay people, which is the condition that we then be able to sign people.
We'll get into that in a minute.
But,
I think it's one of those ones where, come on, City, you took 2 of our youngsters.
Exactly.
let us have this one.
Yeah.
It'll help. But again, this is the situation we're in where you look at us trying to get players in. We can try and, I say dazzle, but how do you dazzle when you've got to go, I don't know if we'll pay you this month. Is that all right?
Yeah.
It's a bit...
Can you go on vibes and maybe in a bit some nice positive tweets about you?
Yeah.
Will you accept that as payment?
Yeah, it's a weird one. I wouldn't say no. It would be a really good move for him because he's guaranteed to get game time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the one thing we can offer most
You
of
will
the clubs.
absolutely be in the first team with regular game time.
Yeah, you'll have some game time.
There is nobody else. You will be in.
Yeah. So let's go into this whole situation about Sheffield Wednesday facing registration problems then. So this is from the start. Sheffield Wednesday are hoping to bring in some new faces in the near future, but are thought to be having problems. Wednesday recruitment team are believed to be working incredibly hard behind the scenes, both in terms of identifying players as well as making moves to try and persuade them to come on board at Hillsborough. but ultimately the club don't have the final say. The club's ongoing financial debacle under Chancery has seen them embargoed and placed under a lengthy fee restriction, and while the embargo itself is now lifted, they are still restricted in terms of what they can do due to the business plan put in place by the English Football League's Club Financial Reporting Unit. It was reported on Wednesday night the club were hoping to get Liam Cooper in for a medical this week in an attempt to get him signed before the weekend game against Stoke City. Shock horror, it didn't happen. While they're also known to be pursuing or at least considering moves for players such as Harry Amas, Toby Collier was at one of them. He'd gone to West Brom now on loan. Stuart Armstrong and Jaden Heckey. Now, though, the sources have suggested that they are having problems move anything forward due to their inability to offer assurance over financial well-being of the club while Chancery remains in charge, and there is a chance that any new arrival will be put on the back burner. The real predicament for Henrik Pedersen are those who will fancy being part of the project Hillsborough, but because nobody will be eager to wait around, and with the transfer window closing in a couple of weeks, the Owls aren't fluffed for time. So go on. What do you think on this one? Apart from the obvious.
It just like... I mean, I'm glad... I'm actually... You know what? I'm quite glad that we're still looking at Stuart Armstrong, because I thought, despite being injured a few games and stuff last season, he was very decent for us, I thought. Anyway, he set up a lot of stuff, and I would want someone like that back in our team again with the situation we have this year. But... It's just that really angering thing, and to sound like a parrot repeating myself, it just makes you so angry that there publicly anyway seems to be no urgency from the actual person responsible for solving the issue that he's actually going about solving this issue. There is no public anything suggesting this is getting solved anytime soon. So the club can't progress. And this is also what happens when, funnily enough, you don't have a sporting director to take care of certain things like this, which means that these situations don't get delayed. They can get worked on at the same time if you had a sporting director, but no, it's fine. Just let Chancery do it all from his magical realm of wherever the hell he is most of the time when he's not in Sheffield, in his office in Hillsborough, wherever he is. Like, great, wonderful.
I think the other thing you've got as well, that it's not even just the fact that we can't bring on players. What's this doing to Henrik and coaching staff? This has surely got to be affecting that. What if he said, I want X, Y, and Z coaches? And can you imagine if you send the email through and it's like, Mr. Chancery is out of the office. Like, well, get in your office.
Yeah. Get in your office, you expletive.
Because it really doesn't help that, because you want to try and bring in people who can then be part of your backroom staff and then be part of it. And he did say in the press conference beforehand saying that they're working really hard to try and get something. He knows the clubs are working the same way to get the right fundamentals to sign players and hope we can sign players right away. He knows that there are some challenges around it. And again,
can you imagine? Can you imagine if Chancery says to him in an email, oh no, well, I run the club on my own, so you run the first team coaching on your own. Can you imagine if that's some email that he gets back at some point? Like, no, you can't have more coaches, because I run this entire club on my own.
But I think the issue you got there, it's one delay after another delay after another delay, which puts... Again, you kind of put it in this whole thing. You credit Henrik for going in and taking the club in the state it's in and going, look, I will just do what I can and do my best to try and do whatever, because at the end of the day, that's all you can ask them to do right now. There isn't much more you can say apart from do your best, because right now, that's all they can do. Like, there's no help coming from above. There's no help coming from elsewhere. Like, what? Oh, wait, we're on the 16th of August today. I think they start doing wages again next week.
Yep, they do. Yeah. It's like the 23rd of August or something like that, I believe, off the top of my head.
It's like something dumb. So if they're going to start doing wages again, do we go into the next part of, are we going to be able to have people paid on time again? Are we going to be then putting in another embargo? And again, if we got put on another embargo, that's another load of point deductions.
Yep.
At the same time.
It is indeed.
It's just gonna. I'll put it this way: if we get 2 more embargo between now and January, you might as well just put an R next to our name and just call it done. And we'll
end up having like a minus points total that bloody Luton had all those years ago, like minus 30, whatever it was.
So the problem is, you look at this and you're trying to think, what are we going to be able to try and do? And the players that we've been linked with, the players that have been able to come in. And again, it's just frustrating because you want to make sure everything's going in the right direction. And yet, it's not. And it's not been going in the right direction, let's be honest, since about November last year when he didn't do HMRC. If you're going on recent, if you're going a long time, not been going in the right direction since we didn't get the playoff finals both times. It's been downhill since then.
It's like 2018. Jesus, it's all been building to this point.
It's been a long time. And it's like, you look at us being a squad for like 10, him owning the team for 10 years. And I think it's only 6 transfers he's sold.
Yep.
If that. And it's just ridiculous. And talking of that, there's a club that's looking at certain Mr. Pierce Charles. And they all keep doing it. But 2 clubs have been told they are not doing it because they have... It basically, we've just not got back to them in time. I think it was Rangers and West Ham. It was £1 million or something like that. And we just didn't reply to them.
Really? I mean, granted, that's the sort of bids that will come in to a crisis club, but it's still taking the mick, isn't it?
But let's read this. Strasbourg are not walking away from Pierce Charles transfer despite Sheffield Wednesday's rejection. Brent Club Strasbourg are intent on pushing on their intent in Sheffield Wednesday goalkeeper Pierce Charles after the Owls rejected a bid early this week to start on the stands. The talented young stopper has started the season as he ended last season, making 11 saves in the Owls' latest defeat beforehand. And if you want to go on what he did in the game versus Stoke, I think it was something daft like I think he was in the same numbers again, about 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, you keep pulling off performances that keep making people go, he's decent, isn't he? 4 more than any other championship colleague. It's sort of performance that's not going unnoticed by numbers suited to the club, with West Ham United and Rangers having made their interest known in the recent weeks. Also, West Ham losing today probably ain't going to help that. Another club believed to have a huge admiration for the Northern Ireland number 1 is League 1 side Strasbourg, who are reported to have signalled their interest in Charles early this week. The start understand that a bid somewhere in the region of 2 million was not backed by Wednesday, but lines of communications kept open, and that attempt to test out resolve as they set to continue into next week. 2 million's a joke. It's understand really that I previously reported Strasbourg are a team that is circling who's willing to buy the shop stuff and send him back to Hillsborough on loan. Helpful kind of thing. It would mean we get him back, so I still don't like it, DC. Don't bloody entertain it. Potentially even playing his full wage while he's there. Sources suggest the big sums of money could well be paid up front, and a healthy sell-on clause will be expected too. Go on, Jack. Thoughts, opinions?
This is the problem when you sell Jedi Gassama for sod all. This is the bar you set that is so unbelievably low that then every other bid that comes in for other players is equally as insultingly low.
I believe Gassama's may have also been a release clause in his contract. That's why it was so low.
Even so, this is what happens. You sell one player for minuscule amounts of money after having not sold anyone for the longest time since bloody... Who was the last? Lucas Zhao? Yeah, Lucas Zhao. No. The last big quote-unquote big money sale with promise, yada, 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 was probably Lucas Zhao. Because I know that we sold Bambo Diaby, but like the last player of this sort of potential caliber and all that jazz, we actually sent him away for a really good deal. But since then, you sold sod all. And with the crisis that the club's in at the minute, the vultures will circle and will do these insulting bids. And this is the stupid thing.
You're also running out of sellable assets and time.
Exactly. Yeah. Because either way, in November, when that independent regulator comes in and then says, yeah, actually, the club's worth this much, you're selling it for this much, we're taking it off your hands and selling it for this much. Because that's what's in their powers to do so. So hurry the hell up.
They are rushing that through, but I also don't want it too rushed as well, because you don't want things to go wrong.
Yes, you don't want a vague law that will actually open doors for lots of nefarious things down the line, do you? Like a certain other thing. Anyway.
One of the things that I would say is if we could say, hey, give us a 2-year season long loan. 2 years.
Yes.
2 years, we get him for 2 years, you pay a chunk of it, and then you can have him back after that. Maybe at that point we get new owners and they go, hey, we're going to buy him off you for this. And we get him back. We don't want him to go full stop. Let's just be brutally honest.
100% no.
Because the moment he goes, we are left with Stretch, Phillips, and someone else. We're not left with a bundle of thing. And you would then go look at the starting lineup. Your net sellable assets, apart from Charles, Cads.
Yeah. Maybe Jan Valerie could be decent amount of money.
Yeah.
Like 2 million, 2.5 million, something like that.
Again, you start looking.
Baz is obviously one. Like, despite his age, he would still get a couple of million.
Yeah, it's. Well, let's stop doing it. We don't want to give DC ideas. But we want to keep him. And the problem is he keeps having performances like he does, like versus Bolton. He had some good saves today as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's just lack of not experience, just, what's the word? Yeah,
like decision-making experience?
Decision-making and just showing his naivety of his age. And you're going to get that from a 19, 20-year-old. It's what's going to happen. But again, it's one of the things we got when we come to players who are being talked about coming here. Charles has got the one thing. He's the number one keeper. He's going to play week in, week out. Yep. If he goes to a Rangers or West Ham or even a Stradbroke, even if they say they loan him back, is he going to play week in, week out?
Probably not.
And for a goalkeeper, that's huge. And the problem is Stradbroke will have this thing where they're going, look, we'll loan him back to you and we'll cover his wages. And you can see the eyes just go, yeah, I'll do that. Give me the cash. But it gotta be the right amount. If you did, but I don't trust him to sell it for the right amount or the right situation. So you kind of stuck there. Some news about the North Stand. Obviously, that was open today. Yes. People went in with hard hats and
one guy went in with a Missouri cricket helmet, which I loved.
He went in with a cricket helmet, yeah. And I think I saw a photograph going on Twitter that some bits of it was held with zip ties, which is worrying.
That doesn't surprise me, but it's worrying. Doesn't surprise me in the least.
This is on Sheffield Wednesday website. Sheffield Wednesday are pleased to announce that Sheffield City Council has lifted the prohibition notice previously in place on the North Stand at Hillsborough. The outcome follows constructive cooperation between the club and the council, and they received the necessary professional safety assurance to allow it reopened of the North Stand. With the notice lifted, normal operations at Hillsborough will resume, allowing support to return to all sides. Councilman Joe Ottman, chair of the Environmental Services and Regulatory Policy Committee at Sheffield City Council, said, safety remains the council's highest priority and we continue to work closely with Sheffield Wednesday Football Club to ensure that Hillsborough remains a safe and welcoming venue for all. With normal operations now confirmed as being in play, full details on the season tickets and match tickets for Saturday Championship fixture with Stoke will be announced on Thursday, which they were. In the meantime, we apologise sincerely for our support for the unnecessary regarding the situation and thank you for all your patience and understandings. I'm getting really, really sick of this club apologising to us.
Because the club itself doesn't need to actually apologise. It's the man at the top that just keeps staying quiet all the time. No word of it. Do you remember when he was doing a club statement every 5 minutes?
I know, I covered all of them.
And yeah, I know, yeah. And yet, this time, when he actually needs to put out at least one statement saying, sorry, he won't. It's utter radio silence. Not even one pre-written by a lawyer or anything. It's just absolute silence, and that speaks volumes, actually.
But I will say I am slightly worried in one sense. What have they actually done? to kind of do with it, because from what people said and what people saw, well, like, granted, we don't know how old the pictures were that got used because there were never any dates on them, but a lot of the rumour and speculation was that it needed about 4 months worth of repairs, and then it's done in a month. I question that a little bit. It kind of like, is it a case that we've done enough to get it open now, and then we're going to do more work down the line of the season? Maybe when the international break happens in September, we're going to do some more, and then keep it again, and then November, international break, or October, whenever it is, more work. Is it going to be one of those things where it's an ongoing thing through the course of the season, where we're constantly just looking and seeing what work needs doing where? I'll be brutally honest. You see the picture, you see all the stuff. It's just one thing after another that, again, we're a fan base being subjected to for the lack of looking after. And for me, a lot of what's going on, it just screams as neglect. It's neglect of something you're meant to take care of. It's like if you have a landlord and you say, hey, I have a leak, and it won't stop leaking, and they go, just put a bucket under it, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Eventually, that leak's going to get bigger, and your ceiling's going to collapse in. And then they're going to go, oh, why didn't you tell me it was this bad? Well, it's a leak. What do you think's going to happen? And then it's the case you're getting kicked out while they fix it, and then someone else comes in with lots of other problems.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's the landlord of Sheffield Wednesday Football Club's home where we play.
He actually is,
He done
legally,
that.
he is.
Yeah, legally, he's the landlord. Like, this isn't just me, like, saying he's legally our landlord. He's the one that's meant to repair this and do the repair. It's okay, like, ripping the pitch up. That's something that has to happen each year, or changing this. But it's something that shouldn't, again, be spoken about. It's something that should have got done years ago and done properly. And I know some people might say he may look to try to do it during pandemic, but pandemic stuff happened and stuff like that. But again, it's just that lack of, if I put something around it, I won't see it. I won't be able to touch it or do it.
If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. That sort of thing. Yeah.
It just makes you just go, what a joke again, and how it just changes everything. And yeah, it's just annoying because it's one thing after another. And I think we're gonna have this a lot this season, where we are talking about things that we don't really want to talk about, but it's going to be that way. Let's be honest. It's going to be that way until it gets sold. Until it gets sold and there is a change. When it gets sold, I suspect that there's going to be a lot of people getting arrested for indecent running around streets naked when it happens.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was worried about, because I thought you were going to say indecent exposure.
Because people will potentially go and do that level of kind of thing. But at the end of the day, we are in the mire, and it doesn't look like it get any better. The club and the players and the club staff are doing the best they can.
Yeah.
But for God's sake, DC, speak to people. Get on the blower to someone to get rid of it.
Like, you're the boss, DC. You're the boss. You are supposed to communicate with people that are worried about the current situation that you've put them in.
I can't imagine
run away and hide, bury your head in the sand. I can't see it and hear it because I'm ignoring it, so it doesn't exist. No, you're the boss. You're the owner. You're the chairman. It's your responsibility to make sure your employees are happy and okay and safe. And you're just burying your head in the sand and running away from it and not addressing anyone that has genuine concerns about their livelihoods. Like... Sorry, I kept cutting you off there, by the way, Jake. I was just something that's just really angry about, frankly.
I think it's that whole thing. You look at it where just go, like, make sure it's to someone who's not going to put us in the same position you have done, because that they'll worry. But I think where everyone's at the point of where whoever comes in is 10 times better than whoever's here right now. As long as you pay people on time, you make sure things are done right, and you don't put us in the mire again, you stop. But let's look at who we've got next. Wrexham. At Wrexham away. Their records so far, they've lost both their games at the start of the season. I think the last game was a 3-3, according to this, was against Hull in the Cup, but that's wrong. So I will just quickly go to the other notes here. So they lost to West Brom 3-2. Leaking goal by the looks of it as well, which isn't great. Windass limped off in this game apparently as well. So is the potential that he'll play against us? We'll see. But what do you think? Wrexham next, the movie tie.
Well, I mean, it's nice that we're at least going against an opposition that's had a bit of an iffy record. Bearing in mind, they've had the 2 games of being a bit iffy in the league and everything. They're probably going to have bought 4 different players to add to their, 16 midfielders that they've got on the books and stuff by the time that the next game rolls around. So, who knows what's going to happen, honestly? Like, I'm just... I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't like to predict with how we are as a team at the minute against anybody. I just don't want us to go on just a winless streak until Christmas, you know?
Yeah.
But,
you don't see anything.
It'll be nice to see Hillsborough on Disney Plus next year, though. With its leaking roof or whatever the hell's wrong with the North Stand.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be interesting. We'll see if Josh is back for that one. He might have just been a knock. But again, you look at every game that comes and you're just trying to figure out when are we next going to get people in?
Yeah.
Is it going to be anytime soon? And yeah, it just feels like when adapted sound, it kind of like when will this end in terms of ownership? It can be a difficult one, but I ain't got nothing else to say apart from that, mate. Go on, you got out to say before we wrap this up?
I just want to put a special mention and thanks and just hope that you're okay to Lindsay, the club secretary, because as it's now been publicly stated several times by Mr. Chris Powell, the actual administrative structure at the club that's got to deal with all of these questions and got to deal with practically all of the mess is Lindsay, the club secretary. And I just sincerely hope that she's doing all right, that her mental health isn't being severely diminished because of all of this. Because she's been at the club for God knows how long now. And I doubt that there's ever really been a time like this that she's had to deal with before. And I just honestly, sincerely hope that she's doing okay with all of this, because yes, she's a club secretary that handles a lot of admin tasks and whatever, but a club secretary shouldn't have to be dealing with this volume of a shit show. to put it any other way would be a disservice, I think. So I just hope she's doing okay. And if you're not, Lindsay, if you're listening, then please reach out to somebody that you care about and trust, and don't bottle in whatever feelings you might have.
I think that goes to everyone at the club, though. Really,
yeah.
If there's anyone who's struggling or not in a great place because of everything that's going on, reach out to someone, speak to someone.
Yeah.
The fan base is behind you, and we'll see what happens. But this has been the Talking Wednesday podcast, and hopefully, you never know, we might get a surprise win versus Wrexham.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
That's the joke to end the podcast. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode of Talking Wednesday podcast.
See you later.